so these angel meditation stations are going to be like, Bob's going to find. And then you can just pull the curtain and see if somebody's already in there meditating. And so I just left this one up so that you can get meditated all of it too.
You said it would do like just unloading
It just came out of the tube. While you're in there, and you have to take off your shoes. And it's a he or he.
Huh? Which angel is he or
This
she?
is called angel. At that point, just starting to, get the messages about the life about having this human service.
I got a day off. My husband's 78 yesterday, so I took him to lunch and
I don't have one as good as that. I'll take the same one and put it to
That would be
Maybe I can help you out.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm on tour.
Thank you all for coming. I'm not going to make it through this.
He's trying to watch. You're party.
I'll cry if I want to.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. This has been such a long dream that's been going on for 12 years. 12 years ago, I was in Costa Rica, and I had been studying a lot about Mary Magdalene. And before that, I had gone to southern France on a Mary Magdalene tour. And we visited the cave that she lived in and a lot of different things that were fabulous places. And when we went to Lourdes, I said, well, I don't know if I'm that interested in going to Lourdes because it's more about Mother Mary than it is Mary Magdalene. And they said, well, let me just wait and see. So we got there. I was blown away by all the people being pushed in gurneys and in wheelchairs everywhere. I mean, the depth of the faith was unbelievable. These people came from all over the world for this. And so that afternoon we went to the grotto and collected some of the healing water and everything. And then we went to dinner, and then that night our tour guide said, we're going to go back over to the plaza about 9 tonight. And I said, oh, I don't know if I want to go. It's been a long day. We've been traveling all day. And, of course I went. This is Lourdes, yeah. And in France. And so I went, and we got there, and there was hundreds of people in the dark standing there holding candles, singing Ave Maria. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced. And in the center of the plaza was a big statue of Mother Mary. And I told everybody, do you see that blue aura around her? Nobody saw it. I was the only one that saw it. And after that, I decided that maybe Mary was trying to communicate with me in some way. And shortly after that, I was in Costa Rica, and I was getting ready for bed one night, and I heard this beautiful voice saying my name, and I was like, who's talking to me? I couldn't believe what I was hearing, you know, and she said my name again. And she started communicating with me, told me about building a healing center someday. And that was 12 years ago. And I drew out the picture of this plan, this building, in less than an hour.
Wow.
I had never drawn anything like this before. I didn't know what I was doing, but I drew it all out. And it pretty much looks the same as what I drew out 12 years ago. And there's a few changes, and you know, it's just been an amazing journey. I didn't know when I was supposed to build this or where I was supposed to build this. I just kept waiting for guidance to be shown when I'm supposed to do this and where. And at first I thought it was going to be in Costa Rica. And I started looking at properties over there. And then a big earthquake hit in the valley where I knew that I was supposed to build. It was near an area where Mother Mary's apparitions had been seen. And so I was looking at properties, like I said, and all of a sudden, you know, this big earthquake happened and it knocked all the bridges and roads out for 2.5 years. So I had to put everything on the back burner. And then I decided, well, maybe police. Maybe police is where I was supposed to be. I had been in the Peace Corps in police. And so I decided that I would check out police. And I was looking at properties online, and I never saw anything that caught my eye, really. And I was like, I'm not wasn't feeling it. And people said, I've been here for 10 years. And people said, why not San Carlos? I said, I'm not getting that message. I'm not feeling it. You know, I don't know. And so I waited for guidance. And about 1.5 years ago, long story short, I received some money from my grandfather's estate, and I said, wow, now I can build my healing center. And so I started looking at properties. And I looked online, and I didn't see anything that looked right. And the last one I looked at was this property. And I said, I want to go see that property. And I looked at it, because it needed to have a 2-bedroom house on it. That was one requirement, so that somebody could live here and oversee it and everything. And I came and looked at the property, and I made an offer on it, and it was accepted. It suited all the needs that I needed, and it was a big enough lot. It was a quiet area, and the energies from the 2 churches around it, you know, that it just felt like good, positive vibes to be near. I used my pendulum and walked around and meditated and prayed, and I got strong lessons. So I bought it. And then, I mean, I was like, the last thing I ever planned on doing in my life was building. Because I've seen so many friends go through this nightmare of building. And I said, I would never build. And then I ended up doing it in Mexico in my 70s. I'm like, am I crazy? So, anyway, it's happened, and you know, I just am so blown away that this all came together the way it did. And Colleen and I have a good friend, Max. Most of you know him, he's blind in town. And we built a home for Max in Winona, and we started helping feed Max every week and everything. And one day I was taking Max home, and his roof had blown off in one of the really bad storms that we had. And so Adrian was there working on the roof, replacing the roof with a solid concrete roof. And Max says, "This guy speaks English, and he's a builder, he does construction." And I said, "Really?" And so I talked to Adrian for a few minutes, and I said, I just bought a piece of property that I want a healing center built on." And I said, "You want to go look at it with me and see what you think we could do?" And so we came and looked, and then he came to my house. We talked for 3 hours about shared our spiritual stories, and a lot of tears. And I knew that this was a very special guy, and that he was going to be my builder, my guide. And so he's hung in there he started remodeling the house first, and then 8 months ago, we knocked down a palapa that was in the backyard here and built this from scratch, from the ground up. I mean, and with his wonderful crew. Oh my gosh, he's got some great people that really have a lot of knowledge, and they put all of this together. It took 8 months, and I couldn't be happier. And I want to introduce Adrian, my old And Adrian, can you tell us, everybody, a little bit about what this material is made of in this building?
Yes, we use the material is 100% recycled. Yes, and then some time ago I was looking for some material to build my house, trying to make it to support these two heat here, you know, San Carlos. And then I was trying to use a different kind of dirt. And then finally I found some styrofoam. And then I found the styrofoam enough to build 5 healing centers like this. I got material enough to build 4 times more of this. And then I suggest to Carolynn to use it in here to reduce the cost for the electricity, you know, in the summertime. And then I don't want to explain all the technical, you know, composition for the styrofoam, but you know the styrofoam is the mask, it's a very good insulation for the sun. And then, yeah, and then Carolynn, she accepted to use it, and now, but it all look very, very solid. Just the structural is solid concrete, and all the rest, all the walls, we covered with a styrofoam, and all the roof, and it's lighter, and it's
Which makes for a lot better insulation.
Sure.
Yeah. And he's helping save the planet with styrofoam waste.
It's the first construction in I don't know, maybe Mexico, using that kind of process to recycle the styrofoam, mixing with we follow some instructions, you know, to keep the capability to support the contraction, and, you know, to support all the building. And that is the first construction in maybe, I don't know, maybe in Mexico, because I were learning about the styrofoam, about this kind of construction. Some places in Arab Emirates, in Arabia, so yes, the desert, some places in Brazil, United States, Canada, but it's not the same. It's different. It's the first styrofoam mixing with the sand and the cement.
Yeah, thank you. And another synchronicity was that he says, I have an aunt who is an architect. Really? And so he brought her in, and his uncle is a civil engineer, her husband. And so they came, looked at the property, I showed him the plan, and she created the drawing for this. And we redid a little bit of it as we went along, and she redid the plans. You know, I mean, it was a lot of work. You know, with some of the changes we made, and just surprises all the time and everything. But yeah, as with any project, we had our challenges and miscommunications and everything, and our frustrating moments. But here we are, and we're all still really good friends. And one night when we were having some difficulty with communication and everything, and I said, let me pray about this to Mary. And she, you know, I mean, I was sitting in bed, and she started talking and saying, this is about bringing people together, not pulling people apart. This is about love and compassion. This is about, we are all one, and this place is about love and peace. Trust that you will find a way to resolve all the problems. And we did. And now this beautiful place is here for all of you to use. I hope that many of you will come here and enjoy the space that's available at no cost. This is for your love and peace and healing and everything. And so thank you, Mary, for all your guidance and for bringing all the perfect people into my life. I love you all. And now I'd like to take a few minutes for all of us to honor Mary and her message that we truly are all one energy and we are not separate. And I'd like for all of us to join hands with somebody and feeling the oneness and the love in this room. Going deep within. I really wanted to acknowledge him and his beautiful work on that door. Jorge is an amazing artist. I mean, he has such a gift. And he lives in La Manga, very, very simply. And he didn't have a car at all. And I made that plaque for him outside the door. And he cried when he saw that. And I said, Jorge, you're going to have a lot of business from this. You know, I said, you need to get a car. We need to get a car. Well, he made enough money working for it on this project that he was able to get a car. He got a used Subaru from his cousin in Palme, and he said it runs great, and it can hold all of his tools and all of his stuff, and so he doesn't know it, but I'm going to get some business cards made for him, so because people are going to be saying, who did this?
So could you explain how he did it? Did you just find branches and cut them in half and glued them on or something?
He bought sheets of Perotta wood, which is like termite free, because we have a problem with termites in the house and everything. So
He carved it?
so he carved everything, hand carved everything, and all each little leaf and hand carved every leaf. It's really hard wood.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing wood, and it comes from the Guanacaste tree in Costa Rica. And so there's a little picture and story about it at the entrance. You can read and then I wanted to acknowledge a couple of the other guys that I thought we had to be able to come tonight that created the meditation garden and peace garden out there in the labyrinth. And then someone else built the fountain, the beautiful fountain out there, and this one against the building and everything. And so this all came together like last minute, you know, as Adrian and his crew were finishing up inside, they had people working all over outside, and let's get this done. And it happened. It all came together, just perfect timing and everything. And so they're not here for me to give them their certificates of appreciation and their bonuses. There he is, Jorge. Bragging about you. Yes, thank you for coming. I'm glad you made it. Yes. You can go maybe over there if you're not. But anyway, he received his certificate and everything on Sunday when he was here. He brought his mom, 84-year-old mom, and she came and she was so proud of him. And so now I want to recognize somebody else that had a very, very important part in this. Bob Burke, come on up here. Oh my goodness. Words cannot express how grateful I am to this guy. I mean, like, and Mari, Del Carmen Perez. Oh, know my name? Yes. I mean, these guys have been such a blessing. I mean, they're my angels. They're amazing. About when I first bought this property and everything, I thought, well, I'm only here 6 months out of the year, and I don't know that I want to be here full time. Who lives down here full time that I can trust to oversee this place? And these guys are a couple of my Reiki Master students, but they also do a lot of other things. And I sat down with Mari at dinner one night, and I asked her if Bob was up north somewhere, and I asked her, would you and Bob consider living here on the property and overseeing it for me? And I said, we're going to remodel everything, and we did a lot of remodeling on that, got rid of all the termite issues and everything. It was a lot of work, huh? We did all that too. And since then, we knocked out the wall, we made a bump out dining area, we built a patio and bar, and all kinds of things that we've done to it. And so anyway, I could not have done this without these two being here. They moved in, I don't know, about 2 or 3 months ago? Yeah. And I want you guys to explain a little bit about what you do besides Reiki.
Okay.
Okay, Bob? Or Mary? Okay.
Well, I am a psychologist. We specialize in anxiety, depression, and panic attacks. I also have a training in mindfulness. I am mindfulness instructor. I am working with abroad in the countries, Spain, Colombia, Chile, all Latin America online. I am part of a movement called Shamanic Practices. I am minister, practices shamanic, and I do a lot of stuff with healing and learning some therapies and techniques to heal traumatized and abuse and all kinds of things like that. So, especially workshops, especially what I like to do in this place is teaching, because education in emotions is what is the basis. I do therapies one by one, but let you know that when I work with groups, the groups is really healing fast and helps people to go better as quickly. So I do Reiki, and I do a lot of backflower essences. You can see a lot of things to do with they are all tools to help and to contribute a little bit to be this world a better world. That's what I want to do.
Well, I'm going to take a few minutes just to talk about myself, because she brought me up here. But
He's George Carter reincarnated.
well, I got George in the closet for this.
Okay.
I put him away. But well, quite a few years ago, I was living in northern Illinois, and I had a small little business going, and I had a work van, a white work van, little Ford van, tools in the back. But the other thing that my work van had was a bottle of tequila under the front seat. And I would be drinking half of that every day, and I'd be drinking at least a 12-pack of beer a day. But my life was, I thought, okay. I was getting along. Things were semi-okay. They didn't turn off the electricity too often. And but I knew I had a problem. And I knew that I needed to do something about it at some point. And this one morning, something opened up in me, and I just accepted an energy, a spirit that came into me, and I knew that my life was not going to be different after that point. It was basically a miraculous healing, because after that moment, when I opened myself up, I've never had another drop of alcohol, none. And it's a way to call it be quantum healing, because it happened instantly. And I look at it as a miracle. I haven't heard too many people that happens to. And then I got to thinking that I didn't want to share that, because it was almost like bragging. Like, look at me, I got cured just like that. So I've never really shared that story until recently. And one of the reasons was I had, like, what do they call it? They call it survivor syndrome. Like if somebody is in an airplane crash and everybody dies but them, you get like, why me?
Survivor's guilt.
And I was thinking, why was I chosen like that to be healed instantly and had that miracle given to me? And it hasn't been like a instant revelation, but it's been a thought that keeps reoccurring to me, that the reason that I had that healing was for this, for things like this, to be able to share what I got, what I've learned, to have opportunities like this. So what I'm sharing now, from this point forward with a facility like this would be, I would put it to facilitate healing and also to work on women's issues. Because I think, I'm not going to talk too much longer, but I could talk about the energy that's building in the world today, about women rising up and things being made right, and men finding their proper place alongside women. So I want to do more of that, and it would be with Reiki, shamanic practices. I've been taught how to give the Buddha key rites. I won't talk about too much of that right now, but it's a Peruvian spiritual philosophy that I'm really interested in, Buddha key rites. I've recently learned a procedure with acupuncture. It's a very simple procedure, but it's so effective that people like me are now certified to give it, because it's a very simple technique that's been shown to be very effective for depression, PTSD, alcoholism and addictions, and anxiety, and I'm going to be stress, and I will be doing some clinics with the acupuncture right here in this room. But overall, it's time for the world to heal. And I've heard that centers like this are popping up all over the world. This is not unique. This energy it's welling up from Pachamama, from Mother Earth, this energy. And it's happening in our lifetime, and we're going to see major changes before we pass. It's going to happen. And we all want to be part of that. And so, thank you, Carolyn, for this opportunity.
No, thank you. And you also teach drum making workshops.
So the world needs more drums.
Yeah. And he is one heck of a shrine maker. This was Bob's idea. He said, what do you think about getting a statue of Mary and burying it before we make the face? And I said, yeah, I like that idea. And then he said, I can't find a statue anywhere. I said, what? You can't find a statue of Mary down here? He says, no.
Well, the Guadalupe.
He ended up ordering one from Spain. Wow.
Is that
And he sent me a picture of it. I was up north then. And I said, Bob, that's Mary Magdalene. She was wearing red and holding a chalice. I said, that's Mary Magdalene. That's not Mother Mary. He goes, oh, I thought this was the Mary we were talking about all along. And I said, no. He said, oh my God, I almost buried you around there. Come on in. Yeah, you can go stand by the wall. Yeah. And so he said, oh, well, yeah, I can find Mother Mary statues all over down here. Okay, good. And so he found these two, and he said, maybe we should put it not under the ground, but in the floor here is where everybody can see it.
Instead of a tomb, you
Yes.
make a shrine.
Yes, yes. And so the two Marys, who have been a very important part of my life, both of them, I had a reading done once, and she said, Mother Mary is coming down the aisle toward us right now, and she's bowing to you and thanking you. And I said, really, for what? She said, because she knows that you're someone who will create what she has asked for, and that you will follow through and finish the project. And because I usually do that. And I did it again. Yay! And so, anyway, you know, this is just, it's been quite a ride. And Bob has covered, you know, he became, I didn't know this at the time, but he used to be in the construction business up north. And so he knows a lot about all of that. And so I made him the foreman, and Adrian was the contractor. And he handled all of the financial stuff and the receipts and all of that. He kept immaculate records of everything for me.
I'm glad you're not using the word embezzling.
Yeah.
How little do you know?
He had file folders. He handed them all over to me when I showed up in the fall and stuff. He goes, here, this is all yours now. I mean, so anyway, these guys, I mean, everything I've asked him to do, he's followed up on immediately. You know?
No, I haven't made all your changes.
Huh?
I didn't do all your changes.
No, you vetoed my outside lights. He says, no, those are ugly. Oh, I'm vetoing those. I said, I like them. They were motion sensor lights, and he said, no. He said, they look like they belong on a prison wall.
And you would know that because?
Assume the position!
So he won on that one. And something else.
Yeah, I forget, it was kind of major.
The phone thing. The phone thing.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And Maria has been so generous in letting me show people through the house when they're living there, and she has to clean it constantly. And she's a wonderful, immaculate housekeeper. And then we come trudging in and leave dirt all over, and she has to clean again. So
That's
thank
Bob's
you.
headache.
Yeah.
Bob's headache.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And I want to tell you just a little bit about the angel meditation stations. When I was in France, in southern France, this was back when I was, you know, really reading a lot of books about Mary Magdalene, and so I went on the Mary Magdalene tour. And we ended up in the mountains and met this couple that lived there. And she told us her story about how they got there. And she had been an Olympic hopeful, and she got in a really bad accident and was paralyzed totally for over a year. And then she started getting better, and then something else really awful happened to her, and I can't remember what it was now. So she became suicidal, and she thought that, you know, this was it, this was the end. And she got down on her knees, and we started talking to God and said, oh, help me, you know. And she heard the voice of an angel who said, I am the angel of, I can't remember which one she was, was. And I'm going to teach you about all of us. And there's 23 angels. And she said, you're going to paint all of us. And we will teach you, you know. And she said, but I don't paint. I've never painted in my life. and the angel said, that's okay, we'll teach you. So they said, but first you have to move to a different location. And they were living in Ireland at the time. And they ended up in southern France in the mountains and found this property that was just perfect. And it ended up that it was an archaeological site that is underneath their house. And they've been excavating it, and there's like ancient roads that go under there that go back to pre-Jesus times. And I got to go underneath that house and see all of this. It was amazing. So anyway, that was really where the special energies were. And so she told us she had painted all these angels, and she had a studio where you could sit in front of each one of them and meditate on them and read about their description. And she said, you will find your angel in this room. And this was my angel. It's called Angel I Am. And it says, if you do not know which way to go, it is because I have not shown you. Your greatest challenge at this point is to be still and allow yourself travel inwards where I am at the heart of your very being. You must know when both our hearts meet, a great light will shine from the heavens upon your rightful path. Confusion will turn to clarity, uncertainty will turn to harmony, and I will have shown you the way. It was beautiful, and it really touched my heart because I had already gotten the concept of doing this center, and I was like, I was waiting, and I'm going, I'm not getting the guidance, nothing's showing up. And then I read that, and I was like, okay. I'll be patient, I'll wait. This has been a huge lesson in patience and surrender. I think for all of us, really. I mean, we've all learned a lot from this during this project, and you know, I just am so grateful to every person that participated in this building. We still need to work out a schedule. We've been so busy we haven't had time to sit down and figure out
what you're going to do.
What are our hours going to be? When are we going to be open and stuff? And so we're working on that. This week we'll work on that, you know, and then like a lot of you saw the little store that Amanda is going to be opening sometime. I have to leave in 3 weeks and go north, so it's probably not going to happen before I leave because I got a lot of other things to do right now. But Bob and Maria can work on that. Yeah, give it to them. But what I'm hoping for that is that locals can that make their own things, jewelry or essential oils, CBD oils. It's going to be legal soon. Anything like that, they can sell their products in here that are aimed toward healing. I think most of you got the gist of what this is about. This is going to be available for people who want to do a class or a workshop, an event in here, at which time the building will be closed off to the public for that workshop or event because of the noise level. But otherwise, when there's nothing going on in here, all of the room dividers will be up around each meditation station. You can come in. There'll be a curtain across there where you can peek and see if anybody's in there sitting and meditating, and then go on in and sit. And you can go to each station. You can go into the Himalayan salt room and just enjoy the benefits of the ion, yeah, from the salt. Really, really good for clearing the lungs and the sinuses and everything. And it's good to sit in there for like 30 to 45 minutes at least, you know, and just soak it up.
What hours will the doors be unlocked?
What's that?
What hours will the doors be unlocked so that people can come
Probably
in?
between 10 and 4. We still have to work that out, but I think between 10 and 4, maybe just weekdays to begin with, and then Bob and Mary can maybe be available on special occasions if somebody wants to come for something special, you know. We're going to have to figure all of that out. But you can also come sit in the peace garden out there and meditate, right up a prayer flag. A lot of you didn't get to see the prayer flags, but there's a box out there with pens and material, and you can pull a pen out and a flag out, and you can write on it your prayer, and you can tie it on the rope and hang it. So eventually there'll be a lot of prayer flags hanging all over. You can walk the labyrinth and enjoy, you know, in a meditation, and when the sun comes out, we'll be able to enjoy this place. And it's supposed to be out tomorrow, of course. So I think that's pretty much.
Carolyn,
Oh,
can I make a little publicity? No, it's just that I got an appointment at 6.
Oh, yes.
But before to leave, I will leave my cards. Carolyn, she spent a lot of money doing this, more than expected. Because the design it is really different than the original. We play all the time. We change. We make a lot of changes in this place. But she's still happy. She's still smiling. We are good friends. And if somebody wants to take the risk to do something, and then they will go. And we make the remodelation, or new builds or remodelation, any kind of work, anything about houses to fix it, something. Thank you very much. Oh, it's full of energy.
Oh, gosh. So thank you all for coming, for being in my life, for all of your love and your support. Okay. There's something. I'm sorry. There's something. Oh. More patience. I forgot, these guys brought a blue ribbon to do a cutting of the ribbon to officially open this place. So, okay. So we are officially open